A while back, I did a video about the real reason he hasn't called. Since then, I've gotten a lot of questions about dating protocol when he hasn't called, regarding whether you should call him or text him or wait it out and see if he contacts you. Well, it got me thinking about this topic and what's really going on with this whole should I call him? How long should I wait before texting or calling him, etc. Why do we put so much of our energy into trying to figure out the simple decision? Well, it's because it has such implications. Or does it? Does it really matter what we do? In fact, let's do a quick poll in the comments here. Pause the video right here and let me know in the comments below what you think. Just a yes, it's okay to call him, or no, never. And then go ahead and click the subscribe button while you're at it so you don't miss any of my upcoming future videos. Of all the things that I remember from my single days, this one stands out. It's one of the most memorable, this do I or don't I call him conundrum. You know, the one where you call your best girlfriends or maybe even your mom, and you go over the pros and cons of calling him or waiting for him to call, and waiting and waiting and waiting. I started thinking about why it's so hard to wait for him to reach out, and why it feels just so much better to just pick up your phone and call or text him, even if you think you shouldn't. Why does it give us relief? Well, what I realized is that it's because we live in a world where we're always told that we need to be doing something, always actively doing, rather than passively reacting or waiting. But see, that's the confusing part, because on the one hand, we're told to be assertive, and certainly our professional lives are all about that. We benefit from that. But on the other hand, the culture of dating is still mostly about him pursuing and us waiting to be pursued. And it's also the way we've been told men and women are wired, and that's reinforced through some pretty strong cultural programming. No wonder it's all confusing. Is it just old-fashioned? Maybe. I mean, times have changed, right? Women are empowered. But then we read something else that says, no, boy chases girl. It's how we're wired. And at this point, we're right back to where we started. What do we do with all that? Well, here's the simple answer based on all of my years of personal and professional experience with this. If he hasn't called, if he hasn't reached out, and you really want to talk to him, if he's the right guy for you and you're the right woman for him and you guys are a match, it is not going to matter. None of it. You can call if you want to. He can call. He can reach out if he wants to. You can wait if you want to, or don't wait if you don't want to. There. See, that's it. I said it was simple, because the very worst thing that you can do if he hasn't called yet, if he hasn't reached out to you, is not be true to yourself, where you start playing games and falling into some kind of a scripted role, something someone told you that you should be or should do, especially if that means being or doing something that's just not really what you're all about. See, when I look at the whole call, don't call debate, I went through in my single days with all the guys who were not the ones for me. And when I look at all the mistakes that I made with the guy who turned out to be the real thing, I realize it is true. It doesn't matter. So save yourself all the agony, all the second guessing, all the frenzied conferences with your girlfriends, your mom, the cashier at the grocery store, your hairstylist, the guy in the apartment down the hall. You get the point. Just stop, relax, and breathe. It's okay. All those books and advice from friends about the rules and all that stuff you're reading, it doesn't matter. If he's the right guy for you ultimately, and you're being real yourself, and you call him when you're thinking about him, it's okay. And if it's not okay with him, okay, it's still okay with you, because that's how we find out whether or not this guy is the right guy for us. If you're okay with something and he's not, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you're not right for each other. So don't blame yourself or your decision to call or wait, because here's what I absolutely know for sure. When you've been used to being in relationships with crazy-making guys, like the ones we've been with, right? It's normal to overthink this whole topic, this whole thing. Stuff like this matters so much to these types of men because they had all these issues of their own and they weren't ready for a real relationship in the first place. And trying to be in a relationship with that guy will just mean a whole lot of heartache. With a real guy who wants a relationship with you, you can mess up, you can make mistakes, and it's easy. And not crazy making, because with the right guy, you can follow your heart and know that whether you end up calling or texting him or not, waiting for him to reach out first or not, It turns out the way it's supposed to, with someone who's actually compatible with you. The rest of what we're doing is just trying to make the wrong guy for you right. And that's not what we're doing anymore. If it's the real thing, you'll know. If it's not, you'll know that soon enough too. And it won't be because you went with the girlfriends who said, go ahead, reach out, or your mom who said to wait. It'll be because it really wasn't the right relationship for you. And if you really want to know the real reason he hasn't called, check out this video over here. I think it will help.